Didn't you get the results that you hoped for your course? In this article, I will show you how to recover from a sales failure. So, in order to understand better the story, I advise you to go to this video where I cover completely my experience while launching my first online course, as well as some lessons that I learned and mistakes that you can avoid. The video is 3 lessons that I learned from my first course. Anyway, I will do a quick summary about it, so let's start. The story. I had just put 6 months of work and focus into a financial course that was really inspired by the book Rich Dad Poor Dad from Robert Kiyosaki. This was the best and first financial book that I had read in my whole life, and I did it while I was 16 years old. Actually, I could say that this book changed my life. I mean, it was literally one of those few no return points that you have because you can live the same once you know that you don't need a job to have money. Interestingly enough, a big part of society and academia haven't realized that. Anyway, I was still a school kid, and as soon as I discovered it, I invest the next 6 months building blogs, YouTube channels, Facebook and Instagram accounts, and 2 courses around the topic, plus a membership system. Yeah, that was a lot of work. Finally, the big launching day arrived in December 2020, a day that I had worried about for literally months. And the worst happened. Nothing. I didn't get a single view, like, or sale. I just got completely ignored, which is probably one of the hardest feelings that you can have as an entrepreneur. I mean, you have put your soul and heart into something, but no one experiences it. And you don't have a chance to prove to yourself and your family and friends that all of this effort was worth. And even so, I launched my next business just 3 months after that experience. I mean, you can think that I was crazy, but why or how? Well, I think that this is the question because you can hear. And let me answer it briefly. And as Nietzsche said, he who has a way to live can bear almost anyhow. Basically, the way that I recovered from a business failure was remembering the purpose and the vision because I started my business in the first place. But that's very simplistic, don't you think? Let's delve into the 3 things that saved my life from my business failure. First, the fuel. So, I started my first business because I discovered what financial freedom was, and I learned that it was something possible to achieve in real life. Therefore, every time that I worked in my business, I thought about the freedom that I could earn for myself and my family. I mean, my mom shouldn't work anymore 60 hours a week or more in a job that drains her energy. And that was enough fuel to get myself working again. For other people, it may be to pay rent, to bring food to a table, to quit that awful job that you hate but you need, or it may be about earning something that you wish. For example, taking some vacation in Europe, getting a new house, giving your children the best education, and the list goes on. So, in plain English, the fuel is the thing that motivates you to achieve your goals. And it is a personal need that your business will solve for you. Therefore, it is usually related to money. Second, the purpose. And different from the fuel, the purpose is a second and deeper why, which means that this is the reason because you start this business over any other business. So, for example, I start my first business in the financial education industry because I want to help people to become financially free. Now, please write down the reason because you start this course. I mean, what your course topic is about, let's say, relationships, instead of fitness and personal health. So, so you have already defined your field and your purpose. And here is where people usually wonder about what is more important, your fuel or your purpose. So, short answer, both. Longer answer, your fuel is going to give you the energy to start now. I mean, how many times have you listened people talk about wishing to be healthy, but ordering a bit pizza with soda? Many times, actually. So the fuel is the thing that tells your mind, I know that you want the pizza, but don't you prefer to play with your grandchildren? Remember the last appointment you had with the doctor. And the purpose is going to make enjoyable your journey. Your purpose sets directions and gives meaning to your actions. For example, do you think is it better to make 200,000 a year helping children in Africa or making 200,000 a year in a mine in Africa that exploits children? One path is enjoyable, the other one is miserable. I mean, without purpose, you get the feeling of making money but hating every second of your life. Third, humility. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we use when we read them. Albert Einstein. Having a purpose and fuel to achieve that purpose is great. But as Einstein famously said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Sorry for quoting so many times to Einstein, but let me explain why I am talking about this. When you get to launch your next business, you don't want to make the same actions and mistakes that led you to that past failure. Otherwise, you'll get the same results. Thus, you will need to change, and you are going to do it by battling your ego and recognizing the fact that you aren't as good in business as you thought. Therefore, you need to learn, be better, and improve. And how to improve? Well, quite simple. Modeling the actions of successful people. I mean, if someone is making more money than you, then that person knows and does something that you don't. And if you want to internalize it, you will need to do the same things they are doing. And for how long? Well, at the time of my business failure, I followed Russell Brunson's path and even thought I was humble enough to recognize that I wasn't such a good entrepreneur. I made a very costly mistake, and it was to expect too much. I mean, I was expected to get the same results as him in the next 3 months, even though he has been in business for over 20 years. So, obviously, after just 3 months of following Russell Brunson's advice and not seeing big results, I just quit. And I say that this was a very costly mistake because I was doing the right things, but I didn't do them long enough to let them produce its results. Conclusion. Here I share with you the three strategies that saved me from my first business and course failure. I hope that you have found at least one useful. And remember, every new try that you have is a new chance for becoming successful. Thus, consistency beats luck and skill. Never quit trying, especially when you fail. Peace and success.